Alright, bit of a rant today. Just want to get something off my chest here. The mask wearing stuff, you know. We knew from the beginning that this thing doesn't live outside. If you were paying attention to other news sources other than the mainstream media, that information was out there from the beginning. And so now it's out there again. And we're having this issue now with kids in school, and a lot of friends of mine that are parents that have kids, they're pissed that they're making these kids wear these masks in school. They're not letting them go back to school. And several states are wide open. Kids are in school, nobody's wearing masks, and their numbers are down. So it's weird. We can't believe anything we're being told with this stuff. But inevitably, if you get on social media and you post a rant about it, somebody will come out of the woodwork, you know. And it's usually it's a certain type of person that leans on one political side. These leftists, they're the ones that want to tell you how you have to live all the time. Anybody who's trying to tell you what they think you should be doing, they're psycho. There's something wrong with them. Live and let live, man. It's crazy to me. And a lot of these people are teachers. They're teaching our kids. There's a video out the other day. This woman got pulled over, black lady. I'm a teacher, and you're a murderer. I mean, I don't know if you saw that video, but you should look for it. That's a cuckoo. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man, and she's teaching her kids. Nurses. I know nurses. And they're in a hospital. They work in a hospital. They're around sick people all the time. Yeah, wear a mask. Of course. Surgeons, of course. If you're in close proximity with people, you got to touch them all day long, then you should be protecting yourself, even before COVID and even after it. That's just common sense. But to the rest of us, just living our lives, going outside every day and trying to do things, we don't need it anymore. And if you got the vaccine, what are you worried about? If you're wearing a mask, what are you worried about? And I get it. You could be asymptomatic and pass it on to somebody else, and that could kill them. I mean, the odds of that happening, you have to be in a closed space, breathe and recycle air, very close to another human being for a certain amount of time. That's how it works. It's how it's always worked. That hasn't changed. And I'm not around anybody. It just makes me crazy. You know, and it's funny to me that these people are so fearful of life, and they made choices. You made a choice to be a nurse. Did you not realize that was going to put you in a place where you're only around sick people? Healthy people are not in the hospital. They're sick people. If you're a teacher, you're around kids all the time. Forget about COVID. What about beforehand? Kids are dirty, grubby little creatures. You can always get sick for a kid. You made that choice. It's like when I went in the Marine Corps, I knew I could go to war. I was hoping for it. I might have to kill somebody. I might get killed. I knew that going in. What would it be like if I went in the Marine Corps and then suddenly I was scared to go to... That would be stupid and crazy. That's what I don't understand. People making choices. It's like getting pregnant when you're young. You have sex, you can get pregnant. That's how it works. And for those of you who got pregnant when you were young, and now later in life you're blaming everybody else for your problems, but you got a bunch of kids from several different dudes, you made that choice. It's nobody else's fault. Nobody else is to blame. So that's what I find. It's like, it seems like unhappy, bitter people, fearful people ridden with anxiety, are trying to force the rest of us to accept their anxiety and fear across the board. Forget about the COVID, everything across the board. And the psychos are the ones running things. You have to have a personality disorder in the first place to want to be telling people what to do. Forget about the media and everything else. There's a few families and corporations on this planet that basically own everything and control the messaging. So we're being programmed with a bunch of bullshit. You think that if you hear the same message on all the channels, it must be the truth. You never consider the fact that it's just programming. And when you get triggered by something, right, a red hat, well, you got to stop and realize that you must have been programmed to be triggered. You don't just get triggered for no reason. You're getting triggered because you've seen enough stories and everything on it to think a certain way about this. So every time you see this or hear this, you get thrown off into some sort of tizzy. It's because you've been programmed. Think about that for a second. So, you know, I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm just blowing off some steam because it aggravates the hell out of me. You know, it's you chose to work in a hospital. You chose to work in a school. When I went to college, I thought I was going to be a chiropractor. A lot of my friends became chiropractors, but I thought about it, and I thought, well, what would I do as a chiropractor? A bunch of strangers would come in my office, and I have to touch them all day, every day, touching a bunch of people with all different degrees of hygiene. And I thought, there's no friggin' way I want to touch a bunch of strangers all day for a living. So I did not follow through on that path. That's some foresight there. Do you not have any foresight? Wake up, know thyself, you know? Anyhow, so no Astro fan content, no work content. This video might only get 10 views and 5 negatives. I expect that. I'm just taking a chance on putting it out there. But we just have to have this conversation, you know? Live and let live. No one gets out alive. I mean, are you still eating sugar? You still drinking alcohol? You driving a vehicle? Because those 3 things kill far more people every year than the COVID ever will. I mean, you're doing things all day long that could kill you. Stepping out of your house, you could die. For those of you that are so scared that you want the rest of us to do all the things you're doing, then for the rest of your life you should be wearing a mask and a helmet and a full set of pads every time you walk out the front door. And if you're not doing that, then you're a hypocrite. And I'm not going to listen to you. So have a good day. Be good to each other. Be happy. Bye.